He let us play our music on his guitar. I have a memory of him tuning it into Guinevere tuning and handing it back to my guitarist and saying, play something. And my guitarist said, I can't. Absolutely not. Gonna have a good time, gonna have a good time, gonna have a good time, gonna have a real good time. When I need a night to live my life, been working on paying my dues. There's a good time feeling, get down, groovy spot I can't refuse. And I think if I'm tired of walking this lonely road, taking off the load, put on my dancing shoes. It's the kind of place you walk into. From the time I was a child, I knew that I wanted to be a musician. I knew even furthermore that I wanted to be a band leader, that I didn't want to do this thing on my own. I wanted to kind of be the lead singer and the conductor, if you will, of a larger group of people. And the Friends implies, and Friends implies that's who was available. And so I brought some friends on stage. The Friends, I wanted to really hammer home, these are the people. This is the band. Nobody is a session player, and nobody is less important than the person next to them. You know, I can look to either side, and the person next to me is twice as talented in one regard and, you know, as talented in another regard. When we're getting ready to go into the studio, especially with a larger body of work like a record, we'll spend a great deal of time hanging out at James's house, working in his living room. Again, that's something that I think makes our music special, is that it's infused with that element of we're just a whole bunch of, you know, we're just friends having fun. It's very low stakes. We take it very seriously, but we don't take ourselves all that serious. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But then we'll always make sure that we go to a more isolated environment to, you know, shed the songs at length, because we like to walk into the studio as rehearsed as possible so that we can perform live as few takes as possible.
Yeah.
Whose goats are they?
It's the owner of the studio.
Never stops hanging out.
Not so much as far as the arrangements go, but as far as like just helping the songs come to life on the stage. So if we have like guest artists coming or string quartets or different guest ensembles coming with us, I'll like make sure that they have all the music lined up, and I'll make sure that every night we have the set list ready to go. And then also depending on certain tours, like if some songs need to freshen up some things, tighten up some things. I mean, we have no production on stage. It's all what you hear is what you get.
I think like we first and foremost like really love playing live, and like even when we're recording, like we get the best stuff when we have more of that live feel, and that's just kind of the band we are. But obviously, yeah, we want to like write more records and like kind of push the boundary on like the music that we make, because our music like has a lot of genres, and we want to kind of like, you know, kind of just go wherever like the music take us and not like be in a box.
It is a hugely collaborative process in making these songs, you know. And however it is that I've written the song, I make a demo. Sometimes I'll sing the horn line that I'm hearing in my head. I'm very melodic in the way that I write. And then when it comes to the band, it's hugely collaborative. The form changes as the groove develops, and then the bass line shows up, and that, you know, informs and alters the chords that we had originally have. But it takes all 7 of us to really breathe life into a song.
Yeah.
The hurt I'm healing is so good. The joy I'm feeling, it's so good. I love what I'm pursuing because it's all good. I'm spiritually tuned in. It's all good, yeah. The energy I radiate, it's all good. Learning how to meditate, it's all good. Choosing opportunity, it's all good. And I'm finding my community, it's all good. And I'm up in a very small town with very few sort of like artistic opportunities afforded to me. And I bless my parents. They did everything they could with this little arts kid. It came time for college. And I said, well, I'll just go to a music school. I don't know what I'll major in, but I'll just get there first. You had to audition either as classical, contemporary, or jazz. Contemporary, I certainly didn't want to sing pop music. Classical, I've already missed the boat. You have to sing opera for your entire life. And I didn't know much about vocal jazz, and so I just dove deep. And what broke through for me, a breakthrough moment, was listening to Ella Fitzgerald, hearing her sing. She used her voice as an instrument, as one might use a horn instrument, a trumpet or something. And I realized for the first time, the voice is an instrument. When you're done using it, you put it back in its case. If it needs maintenance, you give it maintenance, you pay attention to it. And that changed everything for me. Listening to, in particular, Ella Fitzgerald, I can use my voice as an instrument. I can be melodic. I can change my tone and my vowels. I can sing. An old vocal teacher of mine used to say, we don't sing words, we sing sounds that sound like words.
I'll mention also that the band had the great fortune of being formed in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, I mean, the cradle of jazz in the U.S. These days.
The jazz music is definitely a heartbeat in this project, and the majority of this project comes from, at least, and some of us come from pretty straight ahead jazz programs.
Yeah.
That pretty much everybody has some experience with that.
Debbie Jazz is great.
Debbie Jazz.
Debbie Jazz is amazing.
Why did you want to do a song on Jackie Onassis?
So I went to an all-girls Catholic high school. I was in an environment surrounded by religion. I also grew up Italian-American. So you take Italian-American and you take Catholicism, and it's just, in the middle is guilt. You feel guilty for everything. And I felt sort of guilty being too loud as a woman. I felt guilty being too present. I felt guilty to be a queer person and be visible. And there came a point, at some point in those years, where it wasn't the women that were performing their womanhood or were loud and bold. It was the simple gestures and simple encounters I would have with other queer people, or I would have with other women, that helped me really find my special brand of womanhood, of queerness, of who I wanted to be as a person, all labels aside. I was drawn to this idea of, no flamboyance, just kind of someone in their quiet grace, in their beautiful plainness, in their strength, their resilience, in their ability to go forward even in the face of trauma. And the character that came to my head was Jacqueline Kennedy. And I decided to not call her Jackie Kennedy. I wanted to call her Jackie Onassis because I wanted to remove her from this attachment that we know her so well when she was married to the president, when she was the First Lady of the United States. In this later half of her life as an Onassis, she was a philanthropist. She was an advocate for women and children and education. And so I wanted to kind of lift her up in that part of her identity.
So it's much more than just a song about Jackie Onassis.
Oh, of course, it's a song
It's
about
a metaphor.
Of course, it's a metaphor about finding who you are and settling well and peacefully into the knowledge that you don't have to perform anything. Who you are, as simple or as bold as it is, so long as you are true to yourself, that's enough. It's more than enough. It's all that's necessary.
I'm about to tell a story that I haven't yet, about the most intelligent woman that I ever met. She looked like Jackie Onassis, top of her classes. I'm doing my best, just passing by. I'm so funny.
I asked you to take a dive into our archive, and you said David Crosby.
Yes.
Guinevere had green eyes.
have a personal connection to him. I was working with a folk group out of a recording studio on the Lower East Side in Manhattan, and at the same time, Crosby, who is just legendary and was kind of a founding father of the ideals on which this folk project was founded, also happened to be working on a record. It so happened that we were in the studio at the same time.
Peacocks wander aimlessly underneath an orange tree. Why can't she see me?
I was sitting in the lounge. We were done with my vocal takes, and David Crosby came running into the lounge demanding candy. He needed candy, and I happened to have some candy in my bag, and I offered him some. He said, thank you. He sat down, he started eating his dinner, and he leaned over his shoulder, and he said, get a fork. And I just came and sat at this table with him. We ate mac and cheese.
Like yours, lady, like yours. Late at night, when she thought that no one was watching at all, on the wall, she shall be free, she shall be
As she turned her gaze down the slope to the harbor, where I lay anchored for a day.
Guinevere had golden hair like yours, lady, like yours. Streaming out when we'd ride through the warm wind down by the bay. Yesterday,
Seagulls circle endlessly, and I sing in silent harmony. We both shall be free.
And he just was so present for me. He listened to my music. He gave critiques and feedback that were very helpful. The rest of my band showed up, and they were enamored by him. He went into the studio, and he ended his session so that he could be present with us for the rest of the night. He let us play our music on his guitar. He would tune it into his. I have a memory of him tuning it into Guinevere tuning and handing it back to my guitarist and saying, play something. And my guitarist said, I can't. Absolutely not. But he was so present for us. And at the end of all this, he looked at us and he said, I think what you have is special, and you ought to quit your day jobs.
I never knew what they were talking about. Tried so many ways to access it, I couldn't figure it out. You're sipping your coffee and looking at me. I'm unusually quiet, so you said what you thinking about. Well, I'm thinking I get it now. The people in movies, when they kiss and